Hello, welcome once again to Lehto's Law. I'm Steve Lehto. This is the pile of mail I got today at the P.O. box. Thank you very much. I know some people have said, Steve, the box openings and the correspondence and so on is not really my cup of tea, but I also have people who say, Steve, I love these. I love these. So I apologize now if you're not into the correspondence and the mail section of these videos. Please just move on. I'm posting enough videos right now to where if you don't like this one, I'll post another. But for those of you who are into this sort of thing, I've broken out the Rapala once again because today is a bumper crop of mail. I see one box, two box, three boxes, a couple big envelopes, and a whole bunch of letters and whatnot. So we'll just start working our way down. So here's a letter sent to me from Michigan, and it's got a stamp on it commemorating the first moon landing forever, USA, 1969. So that's pretty cool. And I think I recognize the man's name who's sending me this letter. Some of you are kind enough to use your real names, you brave souls, on your avatars on YouTube. Steve, first, I enjoy your videos. You may have seen this article, but I thought I'd pass it along just in case you didn't. This was big news in Saginaw County a couple of years ago when the story first broke. And this is Gary. And he sent along with Mackinac Bridge stationery. Oh yeah, this is a cool story. In fact, I will do this story shortly. But there's a great, interesting story out of a town called Oakley, Michigan, where the chief of police was basically handing out badges and guns to anybody who wanted them. Deputizing. Hey, congratulations, you got a badge and a gun. You're now a deputy. So the prison thing ends the story kind of badly for him, but it's amusing for us. And like I said, I will get to that shortly. Now, in the vein of cool postage, I like the way the post office has finally realized they should just start putting out cool stamps. But this has a United States airmail stamp reproduction kind of thing from 1918, but it's a modern stamp. And Jay in California has passed this along. So we'll see what Jay has to say. And again, like I said, I encourage you to send anything you like, whether it's a note or a souvenir or a news clipping. Gotten a few of those. Or anything. Questions, concerns, or otherwise. I've actually people write me angry letters. I'm trying to remember if I've read any of those during any of these videos. But the point is that if you take the time to write it, I will take the time to read it. Dear Steve, please read this letter on the third video during the second week of August. Ooh, it's close. Please show the picture of my lawnmower. I'd be honored if you display it with your law books. All kidding aside, I really enjoy your videos. I like how you keep them entertaining. Keep it up. Jay sent along a picture of his push mower. And, if I had a push mower to scale, I'd put it up there. But I don't think I have a room for a full-size push mower. So, unfortunately, that will not be putting into permanent view on my thing. Here's a postcard for the Ritz Cinema built in 1938. And it says, to Lehto's Law, hi Steve, I thought you'd appreciate this example of Art Deco architecture in my hometown of Ilkeston. Ilkeston. Oh, that's over there. Wow. This one came to me from the UK. Ilkeston, Derby's UK, Paul. And it's addressed, by the way, I didn't catch this at first. It's addressed to Zaphod Beeblebrox. For those of you who don't know, Zaphod was one of the stars of the book series and movies Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He was a two-headed alien friend of the main guy in the Douglas Adams books. I thought you'd appreciate this example of Art Deco architecture in my hometown of Ilkeston. I hope I'm pronouncing it, and I probably am not pronouncing it correctly, but I'm an avid follower of your YouTube channel, which I find enjoyable and very informative. All the best, Paul. And again, yeah, it's a very cool building. By the way, the other guy in the book is Arthur Dent, of course. But Zaphod Beeblebrox is a two-headed alien that they met up with. But anyways, yeah, so that's the Ritz Cinema in Ilkeston, and this came to me from the UK. And I was wondering why it had these funky-looking stamps on it. I mean, I recognize that is, in fact, Chewbacca there. And the interesting thing, of course, is that these are stamps from Britain, not from America, which explains some of my confusion. By the way, with respect to Zaphod Beeblebrox, for years in my office, I had a secretary named Missy, and Missy would type up letters for me. And in the traditional old school way of typistry, when you typed something for someone else, you put your initials large at the bottom. So she'd put MC for Missy and her last name. And then there'd be a slash. And then you're supposed to put the lowercase initials of the person who drafted the letter, if in fact it's different than the person who's typing it. And so it should have said MC/SL lowercase. And very early on, I said, well, I assume most people know that I'm drafting letters, I'm signing myself. I said, so I want you to replace that with ZB. And she said, why is that? And I said, ZB is Zaphod Beeblebrox, and I think he's probably the only character, living or imaginary, with those initials. So it's going to be an inside joke that very few people are going to get. And she goes, oh, okay. No one ever got it. A few people ask me, they go, hey, who's ZB that works in your office? I said, oh, that's Zaphod Beeblebrox. I go, who's that? Two-headed alien from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And they're like, what? And at that point, I've already lost. So what are you going to do? So here we have a box that was sent priority mail. And this, of course, is where the unboxings get cool. This is from Kevin in New York. And wow. So it's apparently wrapped quite well. So I'll try to open this up without hurting myself or the contents of the box. And for those of you who are curious, the Eau Claire shirt is from Eau Claire, Michigan. I lived there a little while. Quiet little corner of the state. And, oh, this is cool. It's like Christmas, you know. A couple of pins here. Police Department, City of New York. Fire Department, City of New York. Okay? Don't really wear pins on the show, but I will put them back here. And a deck of, it's the box that keeps on giving. Kevin, wow, hang on a second. So there's a box of playing cards in here with New York on the back. Very cool. Very, very cool. I've been to New York several times. I've always enjoyed my time there. It's a bit noisy at night. Have you guys noticed that, or is that just my imagination? But, yeah, no, Eau Claire's a little town. This is Michigan. Eau Claire's down here. Lived there briefly. And a lot of nice places to bike and ride. And we have some... Uh-oh. Hang on a second. Hang on. We have what appears to be cash. Now, I'm just as surprised as you are. Here's an address. Dear Steve, I believe I've watched all your videos and look forward to the daily uploads. I love the general info, law, and travel logs. You are a modern Judge Wapner. I'll take it. I read Unsafe at Any Speed due to your prompting. It is amazing how corrupt the automotive industry was and probably still is. I bet you could write a modern version of Unsafe with all your lemon law knowledge. I've included some cash. Please send books. It's funny. I have people who contact me and say specifically, I want this book. Can you sign it this way? Here's a guy that says, I've sent cash, send books. And if you've got a DVD, that'd be great. Kevin. So that includes a picture postcard of New York City highlights. There is, of course, the color photograph of a skyline of New York. There is a Brooklyn Bridge postcard. Beautiful. There is, of course, the picture of Joe DiMaggio and Mayor LaGuardia. Is it LaGuardia or LaGuardia? I'm assuming LaGuardia because that's what everyone says, but with my luck, I got it wrong. That's Game 2 of the 1938 World Series against the Cubs, October 5, 1938. You get another postcard here. Howdy from New York, in the old style thing. And then, of course, we've got this one here. The Brooklyn Bridge and the New York skyline. That's an old-timey postcard, as we like to say. So I will then go through my closet o books and see if I can't find $50 worth of books to send along to Kevin, who also included his address there. So I can do that without losing his money or his stuff. Unbelievable. Oh, wait. And he also included some t-shirts. Oh, boy. Let's see what we got here. It's a XX, whatever it is. And it is, in fact, a New York City Parks shirt right there. That is cool. And I've spent time in New York City parks when in New York. So I'll run that through the dryer, yank off the tags. You'll see that shortly in a video. I never thought I might have time trouble on this issue, in this video. Someone sent me a box from Amazon. I'm guessing it's Amazon who sent it. And I've mentioned before, if you send me something from Amazon, could you please let me know who you are? Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like getting stuff from Amazon. I like to be able to give just a shout out to whoever got me the stuff or got it sent to me. And we have a book, How the States Got Their Shapes by Mark Stein, a New York Times bestseller. You know what's cool about this? And I've heard of this book. I've heard of this concept. And quite frankly, I am intimately familiar with how Michigan got its shape, because Michigan got its shape after much struggle trying to join the Union back in 1835, and we finally joined in 1837. I've mentioned it before. I wrote a book about Douglas Houghton. Douglas Houghton was a surveyor in Michigan, and the whole story behind that. So this is very, very cool. I'm fascinated by American history and the regional type histories that talk about simply how things became what they are now. In other words, why does something look like it does now? How did that happen? And sometimes it's very interesting and sometimes it's not, but it's always an interesting question to get that answered. So thank you very much. I hope I find out who sent that to me, and I will let them know. Here we have Australia, my friends. My friends down under sent me something addressed to Mr. Steve Lehto, Atlas, Michigan, USA. I could start the chant right now. USA, USA. This came from Australia. It cost a lot of money to send. And the person who sent it is S. Ruston. And this would be from Victoria, Australia. And it went through customs. And I'm cheating now. I can see here, according to customs, at least according to what they put on the customs form, it is in fact a book. So I will now open up this Australian package. I almost said pouch because it just seems like an obvious thing to say. And inside that is another package. The Chinese nesting dolls all over again, my friends. And this is where the Rapala comes in handy, because like I said, I could run into time trouble, which I'd hate to do. And this is, in fact, a book called Extra Lemon, More Heroic Failures of Motoring by the author of the best-selling Lemon. And it says, hi, Steve, been following your podcast for a long time. Great show. I came across this book recently and thought you might like a laugh about some Australian lemons. Cheers, Steve. So Steve sent this along, and it's a story about some hilariously, I'm guessing, bad cars out of Australia, which I will spend my afternoon reading. Thank you very much. That is very, very cool. I'm running out of space. Imagine that. Here is an envelope labeled Do Not Bend. This comes to us from Colorado, and it's got the really cool Hot Wheels stamps. Got to dig that. And let's see if I can open this without bending it so I can reveal its contents to myself and to you. And what we have here appears to be a photograph of a lighthouse. And if that isn't one of the nicest photographs I've ever seen, that is gorgeous. I'm a photographer, and I can tell you that is a nice picture. Let's see if there's an explanation for the photograph that came to me from Colorado. And there is a letter in here, and it says, Steve. It says, Steve. Hey, live videos. What can you do, you know? I mean, we can edit, but there's only so much we can fix in editing. Here's a card from Trek West Photography. Greetings, Steve. Big fan of the show. I do around 8,000 miles of driving a week for work. Your show is a great way to pass the time. In my spare time, I do photography. Enclosed are some samples of my work and a few gifts. Enjoy. Henry from Colorado. And I'm here to tell you that, number one, there's a cool logo. I'm working on a logo right now for Lehto's Law, but that's another story altogether. Pikes Peak, Colorado. Wow, beautiful. Pikes Peak, Colorado. And, oh, these are just photographs. Wow. And this is the kind of thing, you see that image and you realize like, wow, what a cool thing, but then there's a cool photograph of it as well. But I have to compliment the photographer on this particular picture. That is absolutely beautiful. I might get this framed and put it someplace. We'll see. We'll see what I got, what I got room for. And that's, of course, the problem is I'm running out of space. So I got 2 things left here, and I'm running low on time. So I'm hoping I can get to them because obviously the biggest package shouldn't be open last, but we'll see. And this is a package that comes to us from Iowa City, Iowa. Dean. And inside the package is another package. Greetings again. I better apologize for the extra postage due on the car card. Oh, he's the one who sent me the card that needed a couple cents. I thought it was a bit hefty myself, but it's now apparent I'm not very good at estimating what 1 ounce is. Hey, don't forget that the stamp actually adds weight. After watching your videos, I've noticed that your t-shirt collection does cover a wide variety. However, I don't recall seeing an animal on any of them. I think our animal kingdom deserves some attention too, so I don't know if that would count or not. This shirt won't be confused with any of them. I took some time to check your video volume against a bunch of others. And then one last thing I think of that makes your videos enjoyable is the way you present yourself. In most videos, the creator just goes on like there's no one in the room and he's just talking out loud. But yours, I can almost picture myself sitting across the desk from you as if we were having an actual conversation. The mailbag is a fun feature. Dean. And by the way, I'll let you know, that's actually one of my goals. My goal is to talk to you as if you're sitting right there. And as a disc jockey for years, that's one of the things that disc jockeys try to do. They try to talk conversationally, speak conversationally to the person sitting across from them in radio land. And yes, that is a beautiful, beautiful image. And it's not selling anything. It's not promoting anything. It's just beautiful, but it's a XX. And it will be appearing in videos shortly. And finally, before I run out of time, I'm going to get down to the box here, which comes to me from Kurt in Boulder, in the lovely state of Colorado. And this is the largest box I got recently. Might be the largest box I've ever gotten at the P.O. box at Lehto's Law. Luckily, they have an overflow box, which I've had to use a couple times, including today. So, the box is from Colorado, and we open it up, and it says, "Thank you for your informative and entertaining YouTubes. I admire your intelligence, knowledge, wit, sense of humor, attention to detail, and grammar. Your YouTubes have made me a smarter person. I am reading a signed copy of American Murder Houses and look forward to watching Red Metal and reading more of your books. As you know, the University of Colorado here is colloquially known as CU. I'd like to hear more about Milo and Wolfie. All the best." And that would be Kurt, who tells me that his last name is, in fact, Norwegian. So that's cool to know. I'm always curious about those things. I've told you before many times that my last name is Lehto, and Lehto is a Finnish last name. Oh my, there's 2 things here. 2. So Kurt passed along a t-shirt for Colorado. And this is cool. You know something? This is beautiful. This is actually a sweatshirt. I will wear both of them proudly. It might be a little while before I wear the sweatshirt on camera simply because the room I'm in, as you may have guessed from me constantly wiping my face, is, although air conditioned like the rest of the house, not air conditioned as well. So I got a ton of stuff here to organize and straighten out. Some will end up behind me. Some will end up on me. And as always, anything you want to send the show, questions, comments, statements, anything you think I should know about, or you just want to say hi. I love getting mail, especially the analog stuff. Write it out on a piece of paper or a postcard, slap a stamp on it, mail it to me. I read them all. I respond to them if possible. And if the pile gets big, I open it here on camera. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye.